and the birds have been singing. There you go. Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. Got the outdoor shop going. What are we working on? Well, you know what we're working on because you saw the title of this video. I need a billy goat. I need to spend a little time. Oof. Hey buddy, how you doing? Let's go take a look and see the progress. Bug. Look at this. First off, this is the 12 volt. Oh man. Oh man, my 110's not hooked up. What's going on? Okay, that's better. I just hadn't plugged it in all the way. Oh, that was my shoulder. Let's step back for a second. So, here's how the door shook out. And, but let's look at the meat and the taters. I also trimmed this out. I finished the trim out on this. You make a lip kind of all the way around to kind of hold anything back. I can also, I think I'm going to make some sort of divider I can put in here just to hold groceries, blankets, what's not. Same thing down here. We have the ability to do that. And none of this trim was here before. This is where the refrigerator used to sit. But we did get this done, and by we I mean me. I don't have a bit that does this. I really wanted to replicate this so everything would look the same, but I don't. This is a convex, this one's concave with two ridges. I'm not sure how they did. I mean, clearly they did it with a router, right? They built these frames and then just came in and routed it, but there's a couple things that the difference is this is 7/8 of an inch thick. This is only 3/4 of an inch thick. This is pine that I harvested out of a 100-year-old Victorian. Actually, it was more. It's like an 1890, so 130 at this point. But that's been sitting on my shelf for years. It's really nice, tight grain, straight as an arrow, hard as a rock. Pine. But look at the door. Closes nice. Just waiting. I'm going to paint this. But I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm not waiting for anything. Just running out of time. I had to scoot the lamp over. I think we talked about that. I scooted it over enough to where the old hole was visible, so I cut a backer out of some 1/8 inch Luan. I think that's like 2 millimeter or something, 2 or 3 millimeter, and then I'll paint that white. I have to. That's the old screw hole. That's how far over I bumped it over. That's like 1 3/4 inches. But let's take a look at the toilet. Toilet is done. Put a little light on the subject here. Hold on. Solid as a rock. Let me tell you what. Everything holds water like it should. That's just dust from me doing a lot of sanding. The water is hooked up. I don't have any water in here right now. This is a 9-gallon freshwater tank. And I came in and I plumbed it this way. I put isolation valves in it. There were 2 existing bungs in the bottom of this tank, so I utilized those. This one on the right goes to the sink. Can be shut off like I mentioned. This one goes to the toilet. This is also a one-way valve. This toilet has backflow prevention in it, but you know, you can't be too certain. I'm not drinking out of this. This is a supposedly potable water, but that's back in 1969, so I don't drink out of that. I wash my hands with it. It goes to this little pump. Oops, sorry. It goes to this little pump faucet here. But I choose not to drink that water, but I certainly don't want toilet water in my hand washing water. The water supply out, you have to create you've got to create a little water elbow, right? So there's always going to be a little bit of water here after you're done flushing, but it has to be above the level of the tank, otherwise it'll just continue to drain in the tank that's underneath here. This is the vent, 3/4 inch. PVC Schedule 40. I just heated it up with electric heat gun. 2 little sort of 45 bends, and then it goes straight up through the top. I just made these out of scrap wood, a way to hold it down. Used a Forstner bit and a scroll saw. Anyway, so I'm pretty excited about this. So that's the dry side. I'm just sucking up whatever water's left in the hose, which at this point is nada. So that's pretty slick. Super excited about that. Let's go underneath and let's look at the dump. And this thing is solid. That ain't going anywhere. Suzuki. That vent you just looked at came in through here. Flex seal. It's just white flex seal that I glued it to the top and then used some stainless steel screws around. One screw pops this off and then I could look down the vent tube if I really need to. I did end up replacing this one here. Vintage Trailer Supply has these. Very, very affordable. The original 1969 plastic was a bit brittle, and when I came up here I banged it with my knee. This is the freshwater in to that tank you just looked at, and they had these guys in stock and it was here in a couple days. Pretty sweet. Exact fit. I also cut a gasket. Most people just glue these to the side of the trailer, but I got a lot of these little neoprene scraps laying around, 1/4 inch neoprene. I just basically just cut it, took my punched out this part, drilled out the screws, trimmed this with a pair of scissors, sanded the edges to make it look fine, and fresh water. So under here is probably the best part of this entire install. One of the big things I didn't want to do was have to cart around human waste in a bucket or a container. I just wanted to pull a lever and make it go away. So the tank is right here, toilet is right there of course, and this is the dump. I do have the flexible line. There is probably 3 gallons of water in this. Let's see. There shouldn't be anything. Sweet. Dry as a bone, which is awesome. This has been, today is what, Saturday? I think I put water in this tank Tuesday. And there's no drops under there, which is pretty sweet. So then you would just hook up, there's an adapter you put here that has a flexible hose, and then you would just put that into whatever sewer outlet you have at the campground. You guys remember I missed the hole, so I made a plate out of some Lexan, more of that flex seal. Probably put way too many screws in there, but it is what it is. Originally I was going to do some kind of crazy bracketry, but this is really stout. This isn't going anywhere, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. So let's see, to show you I ain't telling stories. Let's not let this water get wet. You know it's not poop. You know what? It's fine. Let's go. So we'll leave the water in there just for funsies. But yeah, man, that's money right there. I don't want to carry around dookie. I'll just put this back on. Hold on. There it goes. Sweet. So there you have it. This is where we're sitting right now. Everything just needs a fresh coat of paint, and the trailer's ready to go. You know, I've had this trailer, I think we're coming up on 3 years now, and I just used the hell out of it as it sat. Look at how easy that's. Oh, it's smooth. I just used it how it sat. I think I picked it up the end of 19. More than 3 years? Can that be? No, had to been 2020. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to look back at my videos. I honestly don't remember. Doesn't matter. I've used the hell out of this thing as it sat, always with the intention to add a toilet in it. I've also got to set up and secure the low voltage system. I have some ideas. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I've got some old UPS batteries that are going to go into this compartment here, just so we don't have a, right now it runs off a car battery. But you know, those things off gas. I want a sealed lead acid for now, and probably, well, not probably, but I've got a solar controller for it and use some solar panels and stuff. But the 12 volt demand on this thing's pretty low anyhow. And then I can clean this area up here. I've got some area lighting I want to do, some just mood lighting, whatever, just so I don't have to, so I have other lighting options and I don't have to use the overhead lights if I don't want to. But yeah, buddy, the door is done. I am going to put the mirror, who cares, right? Do you guys care? I don't know. I'm going to put the mirror back here, but I'm going to do a different cleat system than before, because before the screws went right through the back of the door. And they got you every time you put stuff in here. Oh, I'm super excited about this one. You have no idea. Sits nice and flush, fresh. And then you got the fresh. I will paint these insides here. That is not factory. Somebody added that. But it's fairly useful because the bed used to come out to here. Doesn't matter. Alright, anyhow, that's enough of this. I was trying to keep this to be a short video, and here I am rambling on about stuff and things that nobody cares about. Take a deep breath, Steve. Let her go. Alright, thanks for watching. Gotta go, gotta run.